Yes, very good morning. So we are discussing this chapter today, Lost Spring. Okay, part one only we will be able to do because we were discussing the tests. Clear? Sometimes I find a rupee in the garbage. Characters are Sahib. His full name is Sahib-e-Alam, which means Lord of the Universe. Fine. Name in itself is a kind of, you can say it's a opposite to its meaning. The reality of the child is opposite to its meaning. So it is very ironical situation. Fine. So Sahib Alam, Lord of Universe, but actually he is a rag picker. Clear? The profession of this boy is he is a rag picker. Whatever people throws or dumps in the garbages and all, he scrounges it and he tries to find something valuable. And that's why sometimes I find a rupee in the garbage. Sometimes he finds 1 rupee, sometimes even 10 rupees. So that is a kind of feast for him. Fine. And they keep on scrounging till they find any rupee or thrown out shoes by people or other related valuables which they can use in their lives. Clear? So characters basically Sahib, rag picker, and then we have narrator Anis Jung. Narrator will be presenting herself as a character in the chapter only. So direct conversation of narrator with the protagonist Sahib will be there. Then there are multiple layers of theme into this. First is loss of childhood. The loss, spring means spring is considered season when there is rejuvenation, new leaves, fine, good atmosphere is there, nature is healthy and happy. But lost spring means when there is no happiness, there is no rejuvenation, there is stagnant situation, there is no movement. So loss of childhood. So they have lost the spring of their life, actually, narrator wants to say. Clear? Who has lost the childhood? Sahib and the other people like him, other children like him. Then another theme is concept of inequality. Inequality of the masses, like the rich are becoming more richer, poor are becoming more poorer. So there is a huge gap between the circumstances of two, you can say opposite, you can say strata of society. So this is inequality. Then there are more theme like the life of poor people, that will be the poor writer will be unfolding that how they live bare feet, they do not have even chappals or shoes to wear, and what explanation do they give for their poverty stricken condition. Clear? So vicious circle of poverty is the next theme. Why it is vicious circle? Because this is never ending, this is a circular motion. How they will come out of it? There is no clue. Then one more theme is there, that is misuse of power. By whom? Yes. People in power, ministers, government, you can say, policemen, middlemen. So the people who are having power to utilize to fill the gap between these two stratas, they are not using it, they are misusing it. So these are the basic themes of the chapter. Clear? So sometimes I find a rupee in the garbage. We are going to read this thing. In this, what happens? Just note down some points. Author Anis Jung, she comes across Sahib Alam every morning when she goes. Fine, wherever she is going, she has not mentioned. She just comes across Sahib Alam on daily basis. In between, I'll be asking you questions also, you have to answer. Clear? So, what was, you can say, the name of the state Sahib belonged to? Yes? No, where did he come from? Yes, very good. So, Gaurav has given the correct answer, Bangladesh. Exact name is? Yes, Rana Gurjeet? Yes, Dhaka, very good. Dhaka, Bangladesh. Clear? You have to remember, keep on noting down some points. So Sahib Alam, his background is, fine, he belongs to Dhaka, Bangladesh, and their houses were swept due to Cyclone, storms, rainy weather, what? Storms, fine. So their houses were swept away due to natural calamity, that is storms. And you can get any question, so you should know. And then they have to shift to periphery of Delhi. So periphery or outskirts of Delhi. What was the name of that place? Simapuri. Clear? Each and every fact, beta, bas sunte rehna apne dhyan se. Simapuri is the name of that place where they have shifted. And now they do not have any employment, lack of jobs. So that's why they have channelized themselves into scrounging the garbage dumps, and the survival of the almost all the people is garbage. So they keep on scrounging, they keep on looking for gold. Garbage dumps are like gold to them. What does it mean? Gold does not mean they are finding the gold out of it. No, gold means when any other valuable, sometimes a rupee note, sometimes 10 rupee note, sometimes thrown out shoes or other valuables. So their means of survival is garbage basically. Fine. So and the filthy life they are leading, not having proper facilities of drainage and basic facilities of food, shelter, and clothing they are not having. So now they have shifted, and there are almost 10,000, note down, 10,000 rag pickers at periphery of Delhi. Fine. More than 10,000 shoeless rag pickers like Sahib. Why they've written shoeless? They do not have even basic facility of wearing shoes. So they live in Simapuri on the outer edge of Delhi. And it is just what is the condition of Simapuri? It is actually a structure of mud only. Kichad. Fine. So mud can be seen. And when author meets Sahib for the first time, narrator will be admitting to this that she asked very weird questions to the child. So when she asked that, why do you do this? So he'll say, because they have nothing else to do. The answer or explanation given by Sahib is because they have nothing else to do. Clear? So they are squatterers who came from Bangladesh in the year. Anybody can tell me the year? Yes, very good. In 1971. Note down. In 1971, they came from Bangladesh to periphery of Delhi, that is Simapuri. Then from the many years, they have been doing rag picking, and garbage to them is gold, that you should know. Then after that, now what is the meaning of garbage dumps for children as well as adults? For children, it is like something wrapped up, wonder wrapped up. They have to scrounge it. They are so excited. Okay, what next? They are excited to scrounge it. They do not know that it is very filthy to get into it and all. They do not know. They're too innocent to understand. So for children, it is a kind of exciting thing to find out. And for, you can say, adults, it is a means of survival. They know that this is our only way how we can survive. Clear? So then after that, the next incident they have mentioned, then one winter morning. So first, narrator asked Sahib, why don't you go to school? That was again a weird question. A person who's not having basic facilities like shoe and proper clothing, how can he afford school? So after asking the question, narrator hesitates also that what sort of question I have asked. So to this he says, I will go when they build one. That was the answer by Sahib, that when they will build, I will go. So narrator again jokingly, or you can say unintentionally, but out of, you can say, no, sometimes we give answers without thinking. So narrator says, okay, what if I build one? Will you come? He said, yes. Okay, so next time when narrator meets Sahib, again he ran towards the narrator after a few days only. Is your school ready? He asked narrator. That shows the innocence of the child and how he was also wishing to attend a school, but there was no facility at all. So narrator was again ashamed of asking such question. Next, one winter morning, narrator saw Sahib-e-Alam standing near the fence gate of a club. Fine, he was standing over there, and fence gate of a neighborhood club, and he was watching two young men. You know, in the game of tennis, they are dressed up basically in white, all clean white dress. So two young men were playing tennis in that club, and they were dressed up in a very good way. And he was very fond of looking at them. So Sahib Alam was looking at those two young men, and he was wearing discarded tennis shoes that looked strange because he was wearing very mismatched clothing, because he was given by maybe someone they have not mentioned. So he was wearing a shoe, maybe some rich boy might have thrown it because there was a hole into the shoes. So Sahib got it, and Sahib was wearing shoes that day when he was looking through that fence gate at the match going on. Clear? And for one who has walked barefoot, even shoes with a hole is a dream come true. They will not, we people, we are so particular about our dressing sense and shoes and all. So he was wearing the shoe with hole because it was a dream come true for him. And tennis was out of his reach. Fine. Sometimes he would sneak into that club when gateman was allowing them to take the swings. Otherwise, he was not allowed to enter the neighborhood club. Clear? So one day, then they have, beta, in the chapter, they have mentioned many multiple themes. A narrator will be going back to some other incident. A man from UDP, they have mentioned that how he was praying to God one day that I wish I can have shoes. And then another person praying to God that God, I don't want to lose my shoes. So by telling these incidents, narrator wants to prove that our society is stuck in the vicious circle of poverty. Here we are dying to get new mobile phones and all, but see, they were not having basic amenities, chappals and shoes only. So loss of childhood, you can see clearly in this chapter. Inequality, you can see. Then vicious circle of poverty, they cannot, it's a circular form. They cannot come out of that circle. Then misuse of power. People come over there just for the sake of, they do not have any identity card. Fine. Because for the sake of getting the votes and all, they come there because there are thousands in number, but they do not have any ID card except ration card and all, and they just for the sake of getting votes and all. So all these points are proved in this chapter, that how lost spring, how the children have lost spring of their life. In the last segment, narrator mentions that one day she saw Sahib Alam carrying the canister in his hand. What do you mean by canister? Yes. In which a kind of kettle, yes, you can say. So he was holding a canister, but it is not kettle. Actually, it is a stand in which teacups are kept. Fine. So he was holding a canister in his hand, and he was on his way to the milk booth. And now author, narrator gets to know that Sahib Alam now has got a job. Yes, tell me, yes. Do you remember how many rupees he was getting? Do you remember? Yes, 800. Not Shayad, it is, yes, 800 rupees per month along with 2 meals. Fine. So he has joined a tea stall where he was paid rupees 800 with 2 meals. But the thing is, Sahib has lost his carefree look. Beta, please listen to this very carefully. Lost spring kahan se prove hua? That he has lost childhood of his life. He lost his carefree look. Carefree look is the attribute of every child's life. We people are very particular about our dressing sense, they are very carefree. They do not bother what people are thinking. They just enjoy. So when otherwise author used to meet Sahib, he was happy, whether he was having shoes or not. He was, wandering here and there with friends. But that time he was not at all happy. He lost his carefree look. It means he lost his childhood. Then author has mentioned the weight of canister was quite heavy for him. Not a literal weight, I'm saying. Actually, it is the weight of responsibility. At such a tender age, he's distributing teas to the people. So that is the weight. Otherwise, he would carry the garbage bag with him. Whenever he would meet narrator, he would carry the garbage bag, which was having, you can say, weight even, but even then, he never mind about this. He was not, he was carefree at that time, though he was collecting garbage. Now he's earning money. He's getting food also, the basic things. He can afford to buy new clothes and shoes also. But he's not happy because he is suppressed under the instructions of others. He's very tender age of studying and receiving education. He's getting this thing. Fine. So he lost his carefree look. He does not seem happy working at the tea stall. So this is the story of Sahib Alam. Do we have time to discuss? Then we will discuss question answers only. Let's see. I have nothing else to do. He mutters, looking away. Who is the speaker of this? Yes, Karthik. I will be naming the child. That child will answer. Yes. I have nothing else to do. He mutters, looking away. Sahib Alam. So why does he look away? Answer that also. Why does he look away? He's talking to narrator, but he's not looking straight into his eyes. Yes, Samay, can you answer? He was ashamed according to you. He was reluctant actually. Reluctant किसी चीज को accept नहीं कर पाते हो जब आप. To talk to the author, options are reluctant and angry and sad and happy. Fine. So obviously he was reluctant in that way. Clear? You have to go through the options क्या हैं आपके पास. Then next is, if I start a school, will you come? I ask, half joking. Who is the speaker here? Narrator. She offered that she will build a school if I start a school. That was a joke on her part. Next is, when he asked, will you come? He said yes. He says smiling. He says smiling broadly. What does it show? What does the smile of Sahib show here? Sahib has a strong desire to study. Sahib does not have interest in study. Sahib evades going to school. None of the above. Option A is the answer. He had a strong desire to go to school. The author is embarrassed. ये शायद आया भी था आपको. The author is embarrassed at having made a promise because she does not want to talk to a rag picker. She is also very poor. She knows that she has made the false promise. She often makes hollow promises. Option C. Yes, this is the correct answer. Let me never lose them. Here, them refers to a car, good clothes, a shoe with a hole, a pair of shoes. Pair of shoes is the correct answer. Yes. Yes, next is 30 years later. The author finds that the status of our country, option A, remains the same. Option B has worsened. Option C has improved. Option D, none of the above. कौन से स्टेट की कहाँ की बात है? Anybody can tell me? See, so you have given answer. Answer is yes, has improved. You remember I told you one incident he was sharing with you all, that a man wanted to pray to God. 30 years later, when he visited the same place, condition was better, but still people were praying for the shoes. This is what he wanted to prove. Clear? So this is not a Seema Puri, not at all. You can get any question, be prepared. Next is any number of questions better you can get on this. They have lived here for more than 30 years without an identity, without permits, but with ration cards that get their names on voters list. Very important. Fine. They have lived here for more than 30 years. 30 years, okay, but they do not have ID card, but they do have ration cards. because with ration cards they have the right to vote. Here they refers to squatterers from Bangladesh, rag pickers of Delhi, Sahib and his family, all poor people living in Delhi. Yes, squatters from Bangladesh is the answer. This is confusing for many of you. एक ने आंसर फटाफट कर दिया, others were thinking only. You have to read all the options very carefully, okay? Why not other threes are there that you have the answer to first? ये तीन options क्यों नहीं है? अगर इसका आंसर आपके पास है, then fourth you will tick. Okay, make sure. Thus, yes, they have ration cards that enable them to cast their dash in India. Vote. That is very easy. Well, is there? So next Monday we will be continuing with the same chapter.